Changes to the Matchmaker in Update 9.4. Update 9.4 will be released within the next couple of days, like 2 or 3 days. And what that means is that these changes to the Matchmaker are coming into the game within the next few days. Is that good news? Is that bad news? We're going to find out. I have not read this article yet, so everything I read here is going to be news to me, as well probably news to you. As always, if you want to stay up to date with the most relevant information so you know about changes to the Matchmaker, the new Italian auto-reloading tank destroyers about when they do come into the game, make sure to click that subscribe button down below. But with that aside, let's get straight into this news, and let's see what Wargaming has in store for the Matchmaker. As many of you know, I made a video previously talking about how the MM is quite possibly rigged, and I also have a lot of problems with how the Matchmaker balances tanks on each team. So maybe they will fix that, maybe they won't. Let's get straight into it. Our main goal is to make the game as comfortable as possible. We're constantly working towards this goal and continuously solving problems that our players face. For example, in version 9.0, we added the possibility to report various game rule violations. I do like that. I like the little report option. I don't know if it works, but I do like the report violation. Instead of, somebody saying, let's say, a very racist word, I can just go report them in battle and hopefully it bans them. If not, then sucks. But I trust the system somewhat, and I also don't trust it at the same time. A year ago, we introduced a system in which players who are idle in battle don't earn XP or credits. I actually think that's great. It's pretty hilarious. They literally just get blown up if they don't do enough damage in game. So I kind of like that one. And then finally, we've permanently banned players who blatantly violate battle rules. I'm not sure about that one. There's a player like Nisk who just got banned, and he has 3 other accounts, so Wargaming doesn't really IP ban. That one I don't 100% agree with. I do know they have banned people, but it takes a lot of effort, and usually it's only for really, really racist things. But that's actually fine. I mean, I don't think you should be banned if you suck at the game. I think you should just be put into a different matchmaker. So, let's read the final part. These measures don't let unscrupulous players interfere with their teammates' results or spoil the overall battle experience. Unfortunately, that last sentence is incorrect. Players that suck, players that are toxic, or players that don't do anything and that are AFK will still be AFK. If you're a player in tier 10 and you go AFK in your Super Conqueror, I doubt that player cared if he went AFK. He'll do it the next battle if he really wants to. So, yeah, I mean, I guess if they keep doing it over and over, they might get a ban for a day or two, but for the most part, it's not rare to have players go AFK. Second of all, even more true to this argument is down to the fact that it's not the problem with players that are toxic. It's not the problem with players that are AFK. The problem is you get 40%ers that go into what is called autopilot mode, where they just press battle, drive into the front line, die. Press battle, drive into the front line, die. Those are the players that I have a problem with. It's the 40%ers that don't care how they do and just instantly die when they go into the battlefield. These changes here will not fix that because you can't ban a player for sucking at the game, unfortunately, but that's just how it works. So hopefully these changes to the Matchmaker are going to solve that problem. So let's see here. Another common issue is that there's often a big discrepancy between the skills and battle experience of players within a team. As a result, the battle's outcome heavily depends on just a few players. That is very true. A player like myself has a much larger impact on the battle than 3 or maybe even 4 of my 40% teammates. Their less skilled teammates often can't be much help. Other players can intentionally get in the way of their allies by being inactive or just don't care about winning. This right here, this intentionally get in the way of their allies by being inactive or just don't care about winning, is exactly the problem with the majority of the Blitz player base right now. It's people that are 40% win rate that, as I said, go into autopilot mode and do not care about winning. In Update 9.4, a new rule was added to the Matchmaker to solve this problem. Well, let's see what you did here, Wargaming. You've got me excited. You've got my toes tingling. How it works. In short, this rule will ensure that more skilled and ambitious players are, the more often they will end up in battle with equally experienced and motivated allies. Now, I'm guessing that it also means that the enemy team is going to have more equally skilled and motivated allies. They didn't say that here yet, but I would expect that. That makes sense, right? Because if I'm a 70%er, the matchmaker is going to have to put the enemy team up against another group of decent allies and myself, or it's just going to be a complete steamroll every single game for the one team. So hopefully that is the case. Less efficient players in their turn will have a much lower chance of getting into that same team. Now, it doesn't say no chance, it says much lower chance, so keep that in mind. Wargaming has not said it's impossible. Starting with version 9.4, there will be 2 separate queues for players waiting to join a team. The first one will be for players with an average to high mastery level. Oh, I don't know what a mastery level is, but it says down here measuring mastery level, so we'll see what that says in a moment. Most of the players entering the game will get into this group, okay? So is this even going to change the matchmaker then if most players are getting into the main group? The second group will welcome players who show lower battle efficiency over a long period of time or are often idle in battle. This division won't be seen in game, and there won't be any special notifications, okay? If you always do your best to achieve victory thanks to this division, you'll enter battles with players similar mastery and zeal, while less skilled players or motivated tankers will be much likely less to cross your path. Okay, that sounds really good. Please note the new matchmaking rule will only affect players with 5,000 plus completed battles. That's fine with me. 90% of the time, it's people that have 30, 40, 50,000 battles that suck at the game. The 2 queues won't be completely isolated from each other. Players with different efficiency and mastery levels will still have a chance to get into the same battle, but much less often. I'm not sure how to think about that. If there's not enough people in the matchmaker, does that mean it's going to prioritize putting you in a battle with those bad people over just waiting for more people to get in? Because obviously at like 1 or 2 a.m. my time, there's maybe only like 20 or 30 people in the queue for tier 10, and the majority of them probably aren't going to be all that good. So I guess that's probably what it means, is that if there's not enough people in the matchmaker to make this count, there's a fallback so that you're not going to sit in queue for an hour. I'm fine with that. Measuring mastery level. Players are allocated to groups based on their results. The average player will be calculated on a certain number of recent battles. Good. Not on all of the battles ever played by a user. Even if a player was put into the less efficient group, they still have a chance to transfer to the main group over time. Obviously, that makes sense. For that, they just need to show a decent result and put maximum effort into winning across a certain number of battles. The mission of the new matchmaker is for teams in which every player aims for victory and is ready to give it their all, and this mission will be fulfilled. So, they didn't really say how the mastery level calculation works. It's probably that battle level thing I talked about in that matchmaker rig video, how battle level works and how the tank you're driving combined with the skill level of yourself increases your battle level, and then because of that you can be put into a specific matchmaker. That is exactly how I think the matchmaker is going to work. Now, basically what Wargaming has created here is somewhat of a skill-based matchmaker, somewhat of a not. Basically, it seems like they are putting, and this is exactly what I said should have been done years ago, they're putting a queue for really bad players and then a queue for average players. It didn't say that it's putting really good allies on your team. It said that you're just going to have good allies, which means that hopefully Wargaming is going to start to see, oh look, Bobby McDufferson's going 45% in his tier 10s. Gee, maybe he shouldn't be allowed to ruin the fun of a lot of people that are going 55% in their tier 10s. Hopefully, this is going to mean that teams are not going to fall apart as quickly. Players like myself can enjoy the game more. Sure, my win rate might drop a couple percent because of the way this matchmaker is going to be changed, but even if it does drop, if the games are more enjoyable and I'm enjoying the game, then it's going to be more enjoyable for everybody overall. Hopefully, you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think about the matchmaker, the changes, and everything else in World of Tanks Blitz. I'm grateful for this. Now, it seems like 40%ers are going to be a thing of the past, and we're really not going to have to deal with them. If you are a 40%er, then now you can enjoy being bad in the bad matchmaker. Now, hopefully, I talked about this in the past, the way to get out of the the bad matchmakers that you have to do a lot better. Not go 50% in tier 10 or whatever, but you should have to go 55 or 60% in tier 10. As well, when it comes to measuring mastery level, this should only be specifically based, in my opinion, on players with 55 to 60% win rate in tier 10, tier 9, tier 8. It shouldn't be looking at players that are doing bad or good in low levels. If you're a 50% or a 60% and you're Kenyatta, nobody gives a single crap. So the matchmaker shouldn't be basing off that. It should only be specifically high tiers. But hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think, if you agree, disagree with what Wargaming's doing here. I agree. I think that this might be good for the game, but I guess we'll have to see how it actually ends up being. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.